I actually can't believe people voted her back in.
So you've been in this role as Minister of Industry for a few months now.
Yep.
Can you give us your early impressions of some of the most pressing challenges in your portfolio?
Well, first and foremost, it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to answer your tough questions. And I know that I'm here at a time where there's a lot of questioning, anxiety, and as the Minister of Industry, actually, and former Minister of Foreign Affairs, I wanted to leave the diplomatic front of the trade war to go to the economic front of it. I knew that we had been working on the causes. I wanted to work on the consequences and the solutions. And folks, I've seen this all around the world. I know that a lot can be done in international forums, but fundamentally, the next decade will be played in the plants and the businesses of our country. That's where the future will be actually solved to a certain extent.
Solved to a certain extent. Wow, she sounds very confident in that. Well, Melanie, in 10 years, we might not have any industries here. A wire drawing mill in Hamilton, now closing, laying off 153 workers. She's in charge of consequences and solutions, but is only creating more problems. And last time I checked, she has faced no consequences for her actions over the past 10 years.
The president of USW Local 5328 says the mill has gone through tough times, but the tariffs added on to an already suffering steel industry in Hamilton.
Was the writing on the wall with the tariffs and that? Yes, we have seen the last few months. We had about 25% of our workforce was laid off just 2-3 months ago when these tariffs started coming in, and then with the other 25% coming in, it really did impact us.
He says he believes the tariffs weren't the only factor that led to the closure.
Our company can't compete with the prices of the dumping of steel coming from China. 30 years ago, this city was full of steel manufacturing, and I've just watched their steel industry here in Hamilton deplete and almost become obsolete.
On top of that, the Saskatchewan Premier might be one of my favorites now, especially after this statement.
So the Red Cross just put a little press release saying that unfortunately some of the evacuees are being targeted for fraud scams right now. They're being asked for social insurance number, bank account information, whatever that is. Is there anything you can say to evacuees who might be getting these scam or fraud calls?
Yeah, well, first I would say to the people that are making calls, you're the lowest form of life that is in existence here today.
I couldn't agree more.
And I always look for, the good in people that God has put breath into. And this is not it. Taking advantage of people in what is an extremely vulnerable situation where they and their family have been displaced from their home, often had to travel halfway across the province, hours and hours in the dead of night, drive through in the case of the Tri-Cities, not only, smoke-infested highway where you have to look out the side window to see the ditch and the white line so that you know that you're on the highway, and then drive through an active wildfire that was allegedly set at Wildfire, only to find yourselves in another Saskatchewan community with literally, 15 or 20 or half an hour to pack. For someone to take advantage of a family that is in that situation, hell hath no place hot enough for them. And so don't. Second is to our, to Saskatchewan families that are evacuated, they have to be diligent because there are these folks out there, that are trying to take advantage of them and their family in this very, very challenging time. And so I would encourage them to be very diligent. Also, if they think they are the target of any scam or anything of this nature, to contact the RCMP or law enforcement.
And the final thing I'm going to cover here, we have Danielle Smith at the Global Energy Show essentially saying it is make it or break it for Canada right now.
And I've seen encouraging signs that the Prime Minister is open to this thinking. Now we need to turn these ideas and these opportunities into action. He recognizes that there are many major projects of national interest, and we need to move forward with them quickly by removing barriers that restrict private industry. I and, of course, the other premiers have been vocal that Western and Arctic resource corridors should be treated as nation-building projects, but we need to maintain the pressure to ensure policies are in place to support new infrastructure on a large scale, because we cannot build a pipeline to the West Coast if there is a tanker ban, and we cannot expand oil and gas production if we have an emissions cap. So I'm asking you to help us with the convincing. Make sure that the Government of Canada understands what's at stake here and what you want and what you need. Anything less than success means failing to act for Canada. It means failing to stand up for democracy and peaceful global development. And most importantly, it means a loss of economic prosperity that future Canadian youth and families cannot count on to enhance their standard of living locally and to eliminate energy poverty globally. And it means missing out on the chance to make a big dent in global emissions. None of that is acceptable. Problems need practical solutions, not more rhetoric. All the anti-development activism in the world won't accomplish a fraction of the good that Alberta's energy industry can do and already has done.
At this current moment in time, it is in the hands of the federal government, but based on everything we're seeing from the Liberal caucus, I don't have much faith. Anyway, I'd like to know what you think down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you are new, and thank you very much for watching.